Hey guys, today I'm gonna bring you a perfect Lubber game on Tamsin of all heroes. This won't be like all the other Lubber high rolls. I'll do a lot of commentary about where I've been, future videos, also discussion about how the Lubber meta evolved over these 2 weeks, and even later tips on transitioning, just to fill in the time where I don't talk as much. Hope you enjoy. My man just quit. It's good for me, honestly. Like, what if I just triple into a gladiator and I just like only eat that? And it's just plus 60 attack to my whole board. Hello? Isn't that broken? Okay, surely I buy dumb apples. Yeah, so typically you do this line with a token start with a dumb apples opener, or you can buy Busker turn 1 and freeze your dumb apples. This is an amazing curve because typically turn 3 you really want to double buy, and so you're spending 1 gold for +2/+6 in the early game, which is insane, and you'll probably not lose any of your fights. So this shop is really interesting because, I mean, there's a lot of options. You can go snail pair, which is a pretty solid pair, but the issue with that is there's no spell generation, so it's a little inconsistent to proc. Chef's Choice is also a really good spell. It's just like 2 mana for a usually pretty good unit is a steal, but it also doesn't work with dumb apples, so there's just a lot of good options. Let's see what I do. I mean, surely you have to do this. Like you, like you can't skip a 3/6 trickster. I'm pretty sure. Like that's just trolling too hard. Okay, so this shop was really trash, so I had to skip all of it, and I want to buy good units, preferably those that help my Lubber win con because I want to lean towards Lubber. So I want to buy Lubber, Soulwinder, or Bejeweled Duelist. And I think I also bought Overconfidence because I saw my opponent level to 3. And also I'm playing Tamsin, which is a pretty strong hero. The next turn, I roll into a Scout. And as you guys may or may not know, Scout is a really good card in Lubber build because it allows you to take higher Tavern tier units while staying on Tavern 2, and you can use those units to just instantly win the game sometimes. In this spot specifically, I decide to skip it, and I will explain why, don't worry. But yeah, just stay tuned for that. Chef's Choice is a good pickup usually in Lubber builds because if you target on a Barnstormer, you can either get your money back with Elemental or Anomaly, or you can get key pieces for the Lubber build such as Lubber or Duelist. And as you can see, I didn't have a Lubber, so I'm kind of desperate to kind of increase my chances of getting the Lubber. As you can see, I got Barnstormer, which is the worst one, but I mean, that's okay. It's not the worst. And I decided to buy this Scout actually, not to scale it, but to take it into a 2-drop next turn. Dude, the issue with scaling a Scout is it's so bad tempo-wise. Like, I'm actually gonna, like, I think I'm okay with Scout to try to discover Lubber or Soulwinder, but I'm actually not okay with scaling Scout to a 4-drop. It's just like, it's so much sacrifice tempo for 2 turns, like there's no way it's worth it. So first I sell the Scout, I just pick the one that gives money, and then I Chef's Choice on the Barnstormer. Very important that you do it on the minion that you don't want to be guaranteed to not get it. And then I got Lubber in this case, which is very good. And here I don't like the fact that I'm eating the 2-1 actually. I'd much rather eat a 5-2. I want to sell that though. +6/+6. I feel like selling this is so much stronger that I should just do it. And because I'm playing 2 overconfidences, it's pretty important that I win this next fight. And looking at this duelist v duelist action, I'm pretty sure that it mattered. The next turn, I tripled Landlubber into the dream card, which is Gladiator. Dude, Gladiator is so insane with this build, it's insane with this hero, it's just everything, and this is why. Basically, Gladiator is going to remain a high attack, low HP unit, and the good thing about it being 1 HP is that it'll always get targeted by the hero power. This means that when you hero power it, it's just going to transfer its attack to like your whole board and then give its attack to all of your units. And your Bejeweled Duelists have like 200 HP but missing attack. I mean, that's okay. You'll just give 200 attack to it and also the rest of your board. It's just completely nuts. Oh, I'm gonna need a rewinder. Okay, let's not skip it anymore. Thank God. Okay, so now that I found this second Lubber and Soul Rewinder, I'm pretty much set until like turn 12 or so, where I have to level to 6. But yeah, from this point, you probably know what's going to go on. I'm just going to cycle spells, and in the meantime, I'll keep this as background gameplay, but I'll sort of talk about where I've been. I haven't uploaded in a while, and also my future plans with videos. I have a lot of videos coming up. So if you guys didn't know, I took a plane to China and then Japan and then back here to California. And yeah, basically for my brother's wedding in China. How was the wedding? Well, it was okay. I mean, it was just a bunch of me introducing myself as the gamer, and then people were like, that's cool, and then proceed to never talk to me again. So yeah, gamer things, I guess. But yeah, the one thing that I had a lot of was time, especially time on the plane. And you know what normal people do with their times? That's right. They write scripts to YouTube videos. So that's exactly what I did. And I just wrote a ton of guides, like a ton. And I will publish them soon, I promise. And you guys should be excited for them because they have some pretty hefty information covering all the fundamentals, covering stuff like leveling, which is going to come out pretty soon, positioning, teching, also some cool video ideas planned. Yeah, just a ton of hype stuff. Apparently when I was gone, there were some new Tavern 3 Lubber strats that are like being tossed around. I think they're being played by a lot of the Chinese servers, like the Chinese players, and I think it has a lot of merit to it. Basically, it's kind of the same strategy, but instead of doing the Tavern 2 to Tavern 6 game plan like I'm gonna do in this video, they just stay on 3 for basically the whole game. See, if you stay on 3, you can't buy strike goals. You know why? Because the Tavern 3 game plan, it revolves around reckless investment. Basically, they're using the mechanic that you can't actually lose more than your maximum gold. So let's say you have 10 gold, you can't lose more than 10 gold with reckless investment. So you can still stack all the careful investments and overconfidences, but you just can't lose more than 10 gold with recklesses. So you're kind of infinite that way. But because you can't buy strike oils, you just never really have enough money to level to 6 in one turn. So this strategy is good. It's really, really safe second place and third place. I would say Tavern 2 is more consistently first place, but on the other hand, it's more volatile, so you can go 8th because it's kind of weaker the middling few turns, and if you lose one crucial fight, you might fall behind. In this game, because I have the Gladiator, I'm just snowballing out of control. So yeah, should you do tier 3? Should you do tier 2? I think it depends. If you're in a questionable spot, I would say do the safe line. If you want to high roll that Nala, high roll that Azerite, scout it up on Tavern 2, go for it. And if you're comparing the two strategies, I think both have their merits. Can't objectively say one is better than the other, especially because I haven't tested out enough. And I don't really want to do a video on it because it will probably be nerfed in a couple of days. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You hit Nala. Hello? You hit Nala. Wait, this guy also leveled to 3. So these guys, okay, what you're telling me is these guys are doing the literal exact same strat, but they're just leveling to 3 for fun. As promised, I'll talk a bit about transitioning and how to prepare for a transition because, I mean, I'm not talking that much anyway, so you can have lo-fi music or you can have this. Choose one. So a bit about transitioning. I guess the primary thing you have to think about is what is your cut. That's number one. On this board, I know for a fact my cuts are Soul Rewinder and Golden Landlubber. The reason why you need to cut Golden Landlubber is you need to open up shop slots on Tavern 6, and Soul Rewinder just kind of becomes worthless after you level past 2 because you're not rolling into that many hasty exhibitions anymore. So after you understand what to cut, the next thing you need to know is what to buy. There are some pretty key cards that you probably need to always pick up on site. One is Golden Touch. When you have 100 gold, being able to golden any minion you want in shop is pretty broken, it turns out. The other thing you need to keep up is the Bramble Witch Elemental Surprise combo. Because Bramble Witch is one of the highest utility units in the game currently. It doesn't lose to stats. It can hit twice. It can be scaled. It's just really solid. Another card you need to look out for is Golden Matador. Golden Matador is also one of those units which is just insanely high utility. Like it just makes your comp really strong. It makes it capped. It makes sure you don't lose to like insane stats. Just typically when you have like too much gold, you want to build up the highest utility possible. In the past, this has been golden base skill and Murgle and stuff. It changes very meta to meta, but in this meta, you want to transition into golden bramblewitches and matadors. That is the key. And in future metas, that'll likely change. You'll probably have to watch streamers transition to understand what people are pivoting into. As terms of scaling, usually you don't really need scaling on like turn 12, turn 13, but there are scaling options like Brand's Blessing is probably your best bet for scaling because, I mean, if you have 100 gold, Lovesick Balladus suddenly becomes really good. Emergent Flame suddenly becomes very good. Those can be your scaling. And also, you can hit some scaling buddies like Sylvanas Buddy, for instance. But I think the main card you want to look out for is, in terms of scaling, is actually Fungus. Especially if you can golden it with that golden touch. Fungus is just really good. You guys probably already know. And if you really have too much gold, you can buy Yogg wheels and stuff. Try to high roll the shuffle stats because shuffling stats on aura effects will just effectively double its stats. It just gives its stats to another random minion. Super strong. Wait, I feel like there's something broken I can do, but I literally know I can't think about it. Dude, there has to be something like ridiculously broken that I can do here, right? I don't think there's anything that broken you can do with Sylvanas Buddy here, but I'm definitely right to not think about it. When you're doing these high APM turns, the one thing you want to do is not think. Just on the moment be like, am I going to do this or am I not? If it's wrong, who cares? Because you're not going to finish your turn most likely, and thinking about it will definitely lose you out on some pretty significant scaling if you just decide. Like here, it's a misplay to not trigger the battle cry. You can see there's the trigger battle cry spell for an emergent, but I mean misplays are okay this turn. It's not a big deal. You just move on. Seems that I bought a gold matador this turn. It was an extremely good buy. Sylvanas Buddy is a high roll. I also bought the Thrasher because it seems like I couldn't land myself on Bramblewitch. Thrasher is definitely no Bramblewitch. Like Bramblewitch is higher utility, but Thrasher is up there. Like it's Divine Shield and Venomous. I love scaling Thrasher. And I'll likely be looking for that golden bramble. Ooh, there's the fungus I have with the golden touch in hand, so definitely expect to do that. So you see the coral murgler. One interesting thing, interaction you guys probably have never done, or most of you have never done, is the fungus coral murgler combo. It's a really slept on combo actually, and I completely ignored it. But but trust me, like, you know why holding the fungus with the coral on board is so much better than just playing the fungus? It's because, oh, I think I plan on eating the fungus. Yeah, that's fine. It's because if you have a pair of corals like I do here, well, suddenly the fungus in your hand becomes two funguses and you didn't even roll into a fungus. And if you rolled into two funguses, suddenly that becomes four funguses. So with a golden coral and a golden fungus, it's much easier to find that than to find just a million funguses. So that's why coral murgler is one thing you should actually keep an eye on when you're doing these pivots. So here I'm scaling a Matador. In general, scaling a Matador is actually a great idea because its effect kind of acts like a double Divine Shield. So you're putting stats on a double Divine Shield unit and it makes it like the most unbeatable unit if it's scaled up. I mean, the good thing is that it's in neutral, so it's actually pretty hard to scale up, but that just makes comboing with Sylvanas Buddy all the more disgusting. So yeah, you see that you definitely go for the huge Matador here. You see the two big coral murglers probably going to get bigger. And of course the Thrasher, which should be a golden shielded Bramble Witch, but I mean, it's good enough for now, I guess. And of course the duelists, which have been with me since day one. I don't know if you guys noticed, actually, also over my commentary, I didn't hero power last turn because combat or hero power start of combat always procs before minion start of combat. So if I hero power last turn, it actually would have eaten my 6/6 Coral Murgler, and that would have been a disaster. So yeah, I'm pretty glad that I caught that. It seems that I bought another coral. I'm buying the buddy spells, trying to get more Sylvanas buddies. And yeah, my board's probably it is pretty unbeatable. Like, I need to buff this coral murgler out of this hero power range, so I eat the gladiator instead, or else that'll be a disaster. And just keep buying more buddies. Because, I mean, you have so much gold, you can straight up buy anything. Like, I buy every start of combat effect as well. And my final board, probably just, I mean, tripling it doesn't really matter, except that I can find more, which is good, I guess. But this is most likely going to be the final turn. And I use the +6/+6 spell on the Coral Murgler to put it out of hero power range. And I'm still eating this gladiator. And yeah, see, 100% win. It's just really not close. Like, look at these Coral Murglers. They are so big. Also, apparently that's not the final fight, so I'll show you the final fight. It's really not that special because it's just so one-sided, but yeah, that's how I got a perfect game with Tamza of all heroes. Historically pretty mid-hero, and I managed to get a lub dub with it. If you enjoyed these commentary style videos, you should definitely tell me, because I do not know whether I should do more in the future, but I'm okay with doing them, and I hope you guys liked this experience as well. But yeah, see ya, and subscribe.